What's going on YouTube? It's Dragon Slayer again, and I have a video for you about how I waxed my truck. And I also buffed it before, but I don't really have a comparison right now. The only way you could probably do that is look at some of my other videos before this one. But the truck looks much better. Before it was kind of chalky, and if you did this, the paint would get on your hands. But I don't really have a clear coat left anymore. But so here's the things that I used to make it look a lot better than it did. First thing I did was buff it before the wax. So what I used was this liquid claybar by Turtle Wax, and it's really good stuff. I couldn't believe the difference once I wiped it off. But basically you shake it up and it's supposed to look like this. I actually just waxed yesterday, so it's still kind of mixed up. But once it sit for a while, there will be like a dark blue liquid and then clear on the bottom and the top. So you got to shake it to get it up, and it's a thin liquid, so you gotta put it on this pad and then rub it evenly across the entire truck. And all I did was I let it dry, and then I hit it with this Turtle Wax dual action buffer. I'm not really sure where I got this or the buffer because it was just laying around in my garage already. But I went over the entire truck, I buffed it down, and then I wiped off all the excess and made sure that it was clean. Also, before you buff it, you want to wash the truck. But I made sure it was clean, and then the next day, which was yesterday, I hit it with the Turtle Wax. And this was pretty cheap. It's like, I can't remember the price, but I got it at Advanced Auto. And it's the super hard shell, and it's just a paste wax. And it comes with its own applicator pad. Hold on just a second. But it's just this goop, and you can see that I have some red paint in there because I don't have a clear coat. But basically, you want to very lightly rub this stuff on. This stuff goes a long way, and the first mistake I made was putting too much on, and it takes forever to get off. You want just enough to cover the surface, and once you've covered it, you let it dry to a haze. And then what I did was I hit it again with the buffer to rub it in. And the way that I did it is, when you're buffing, what I did for the buffing and the waxing is I took it and I went up and down across the entire truck, and then I went side to side down the whole truck. And that makes sure that you don't have any swirl marks or anything like that. If you really want to make sure that you get it all when you're buffing, is go this way as well and go diagonal, and that'll really get all of the dead paint and junk off of your truck or car. So I did the same thing with the Turtle Wax. I would let it dry to a haze, and then I would buff it, and then let it dry again, and then I would wipe it off, and it's turned out to be really great. It's a lot brighter red. It shines a lot more. It's not like chalk. It doesn't come off on your hand. And in between the time that I buffed it and waxed, I actually had to wash my applicator, or not my applicator pad, but the buffing pad, because it was completely red and I didn't want it to scratch. But you can completely just throw it in the washing machine and it'll be fine. So I've washed that twice now, and it's still working good. But basically, that's how I did it. You just got to make sure that it's clean before you wax, of course. you want the paint to be the way you want it when you start waxing, because that kind of seals in the way it is. Wax isn't supposed to make it more shiny. It might fill in some of the little tiny microscopic scratches, but it's not going to shine it up much more than if you just buff it. But the liquid clay bar was excellent. It did exactly what I needed it to. And so far this has been really good. But something I can do right now is I'll splice together a video of me putting it out in the sun, and also running some water across the hood. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright guys, so I'm back. The truck's out in the sun. I didn't polish it. I forgot to mention that. I did not polish. The paint is not in a good enough shape to really polish. I don't know if you can see that. Some of those are bugs, but it's mostly chips in the paint. This has got original paint, and it's a 26-year-old truck, but you can see it here, right behind the tire here. It's chipped all to pieces, and it's like that all around the truck. You got primer showing and stuff like that, but I'm happy with the way it looks. But as far as the hood goes, it's not faded anymore. You can tell the difference between the hood and the fender. I don't know if you guys can tell on there, but the fender's a little bit more red and less faded looking. But another thing you might not be able to notice is with the liquid clay bar, you definitely do not want to spray it directly onto the truck. Wherever you applied it directly to the truck, it will leave a spot, and I haven't been able to get it off. So just use the applicator pad. But we're going to see if it can shed some water. So here we go. Get up a little closer. So it's definitely a lot better than if it was just straight paint. But I'm sure it's like that all around the truck. Just goes right off. So I mean, the wax is really doing its job, but it's only been a day. It really looks great, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you.